allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everybody. So we'll make note, we are missing, for tonight's meeting, we're missing Cindy and we're missing Kevin. Cindy is off with grandbaby and Kevin is off in his annual fishing trip. So he showed last year when he won, he didn't even know he won. He's in someplace in Wisconsin with no cell phone coverage, so he didn't know for like 3 days that he was. Anyway, we have two meetings tonight. We're gonna do a short organizational meeting for our new members. So we'll do that first, and then we'll adjourn that and start with the regular schedule. Okay. So do we have any other municipal officers that need oaths, or just us?
The Judith and Michael and you
Okay,
will need
yeah,
to take the oath.
okay.
And so we're gonna do, when I say aye, and then you're gonna answer your name. And then I'm gonna point to each of you so we can hear each of you say your names. Because if you say them all at the same time, we kind of blur them all together. All right, yep. So, if you would repeat after me. I
Michael Ogden.
I, Judith Dow,
Hi, Stephen Vermont.
do swear
Do swear
that I will support the Constitution
That I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and of this state,
and
and of this state,
so long as I shall continue
so long as I shall continue
a citizen thereof.
a citizen thereof.
I, your name,
I, Michael Ogden,
okay. I, Judith Dow,
Hi, Stephen Vermont.
do swear
do swear
that I will faithfully discharge
That
that I will faithfully discharge
to the best of my ability
to the best of my abilities,
the duties incumbent on me
the
duties incumbent upon me
as an assessor for the town of Dover-Foxcroft,
as an assessor for the town of Dover-Foxcroft,
according to the Constitution and laws of the state.
according to the Constitution and laws of the state.
I have to do this twice more. Sorry.
Plain John.
All right. I, and then.
I, Michael Ogden,
I, Judith Dow,
Hi, Stephen Vermont.
do swear
do swear
that I will support the Constitution
That
that
I
I
will
will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the
the
United
United
States
and of this state,
and of this state,
so long as I shall continue
so long as I shall continue
a citizen thereof.
a citizen thereof.
I, your name,
I, Michael Ogden,
I, Judith Dow,
Hi, Stephen Vermont.
do swear
do swear
that I will faithfully discharge
That I
that I
will
will faithfully discharge
to the best of my abilities
to
to the best of my abilities
the duties incumbent on me
the duties incumbent on me
as an overseer of the poor
as an overseer of the poor
for the town of Dover-Foxcroft,
for the town of Dover-Foxcroft,
according to the Constitution
according to the Constitution
and laws of the state.
and laws of the state.
One more. All right. I, your name,
I, Michael Ogden,
I, Judith Dow,
Hi, Stephen Vermont.
do swear
do swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and of this state,
and of this state,
so long as I shall continue
so long as I shall continue
a citizen thereof.
a citizen thereof.
I,
I, Michael Ogden,
I, Judith Dow,
Hi, Stephen Vermont.
do swear
do swear
that I will faithfully discharge
that I will faithfully discharge
to the best of my ability
to the best of my abilities
the duties incumbent on me
the duties incumbent on me
as a select board member
As
as
a
a
select board member
for the town of Dover-Foxcroft,
for
the town of Dover-Foxcroft,
according to the Constitution and laws of the state.
according to the Constitution and laws of the state. Congratulations.
So, we started with the organizational meeting, so this is, the first item is to elect a chair and a vice chair. And, so this is standard, make nominations, second, and then you discussion and vote. So do I hear a nomination for chair of the select board?
Steve, come on.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor? Thank you all very much. Move to nominate vice chair of the select board.
Nominate Jane for vice chair.
Second.
So this, we can get into this discussion now. We have, Kevin would like to go up for the vice chair with Jane and my assistants. Kind of bringing him into that role. Okay, so Jane, were you all right with that? Yep. Okay, so.
Do you want me to change my nomination?
Yeah,
I'll send that and nominate Kevin Sargent for vice chair.
yeah,
I will second that nomination.
all right, all in favor?
Okay.
Excellent, thank you very much. Municipal appointments, so we've got the. We've got the list. So what we like to do is we like to make sure with, this is for our committee assignments, that we have a mix of existing members with new members. And we had only one committee with 2 openings. And the suggestion for that one, I'd like to make just on its own, is to have Jane be nominated to be part of the promotion and development, which would then give us experienced select board members on that. Do I hear a nomination?
Nominate Jane.
Or do we have to go through the whole voting thing, or do we just?
Well, you're off agenda for that.
Off
So
agenda? I
listen,
love doing
you
that.
could be fired.
Yeah.
So soon.
Ah, this list.
Like the town, like police officer.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion to
Thank you.
approve the certificate of appointments of municipal offices as listed in our packets.
I'll second.
I forgot we had to do that. All in favor? Thank you very much. All right. Are there any adjustments to the agenda for this? No.
The organizational meeting.
Right. So now on to committee responsibilities. So I'm looking for a nomination for Jane to be on the promotion and development committee.
So move.
Okay, all in favor? There we go. All right, so we have openings. 2 committees for each of you 2 be on. The time for each of these is completely random and up in the air. Some committees don't meet very often, others meet a lot. Some of them meet regularly, some of them meet only because there's a reason for it. But I don't know if you've had a chance to look at the vacancies. Okay, we'll take preferences if anybody has got a specific preference.
I would prefer promotion and development.
Okay, and we'll be fair. Mike, do you want to take a swipe at one?
I'd be good with either the public works or the police and fire.
The public safety. Judy, do you have a preference for either of those 2?
No, I do not
Okay.
have a preference.
Then whichever one you would want.
I'll do, the police, fire and welfare.
Okay,
Right? I'll do public works.
okay. And that leaves one opening. That leaves an opening on the finance. Oh, do we have that? No, yes, we do have an opening on the finance committee.
Yes.
So, good for that? All right. So, there a motion to approve? Do we need to do that? Or we just, we're all good, we're all good. Okay. All right, that Any responsibilities and assignments? I think we're covered there. So anything else that we need to do on that?
And then the organizational meeting.
Right, okay. So, both of you adjourned?
The organizational meeting?
So,
Second. All in favor? Excellent. Thank you all very much. Move on to the primary meeting. This is a roll call. The motion on the consent agenda.
move to approve.
Second.
Okay. Yep.
Can I just point out to the new folks,
Yes.
with the consent agenda, that means those items that fall underneath there, you've read them, you have a clear understanding, and we're approving them. However, if you do have a question, now is your time under the consent agenda to say, can you hold this out? I don't understand it, that sort of stuff.
And the consent agenda is kind of the routine business, that just, approving the ability to write checks for the people we owe money to. And anything that's new gets addressed at a later point. So, yeah. So all in favor? All right, we have the minutes of the last meeting. I'm going to, yes, we've got 3. Normally, if somebody isn't at the meeting, you've read the minutes and don't have a problem with them, that's fine too, or you can abstain from voting if you don't feel that you know what went on in the last meeting.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of May 27th.
Second.
All right, all in favor? Thank you all. Okay, quick claim deed. Board of Assessors, municipal officers, we have a wastewater abatement.
Move to approve wastewater abatement.
Second,
These abatements are fairly common. We've got these 1 or 2 a meeting. Usually a committee has already looked over this, by the time it gets to us. This one is a simple overcharge. Actually, it wasn't so simple in this person's case, but what we're basically approving is to refund them for an overcharge. Okay.
just to point something out, I think we skipped conflict of interest, but I'll use this as an example. For example, if this was your mother,
Don't have it.
as a member of the board, I would abstain.
Mhm.
If it were my mother, I wouldn't want to have the perception that, hey, we're giving her money that I didn't give your mother. And so typically, as part of every meeting, we have a statement of a conflict of interest on any agenda items, and you simply share it.
Yeah, or share it at the time if you didn't notice
Yeah,
it.
correct.
Either way, it's fine.
Right.
Okay. All right, we have a first and a second. We've had a discussion. All in favor? No, thank you. We have changed the format as of, I guess, last meeting, where we're gonna have the town manager report comes right now instead of at the end. That allows everybody here who's here to hear it and ask questions about it in the open session. Okay, so town managers report.
Excellent. I'd like to extend my sincere thanks to all the staff and election workers and volunteers on the June 9th municipal election. It was a big success. We had 1,139 votes were cast in the municipal referendum, showing strong community engagement and participation. Next up, I've heard some mumblings online about Landfill Road and Bear Hill paving. Currently, we're waiting for an update from the paving contractor, which is Riley's Paving. I did receive an email later this afternoon. They did state that Friday they anticipate starting the paving, citing weather-related delays in the project. And then we also had scope of work change as well. Next up is the town is going to be adopting some new software to help with FOA requests. So in the coming months, you'll be able to submit FOA requests via online. It will be completely ADA accessible. It's basically fill in the blank type situation. And from that, it will help streamline the process making it both easier for the public and then also town staff. These can sometimes be burdensome. And then also with these forms, they can be applied for a plethora of anything we want them to, not only FOA. So for instance, if you want to report a road hazard or say a building, you want to submit a building permit or something along those lines, that can get further built out with this program. And then I want to thank everybody that participated in the recreation economy for rural communities work. We had an amazing attendance with that. There was a ton of federal, state, and nonprofit organizations that attended the 2-day meeting. Initially, that Wednesday morning, we took a busload, literally, of folks around Dover-Foxcroft to view various sites. And they were all, I will say the word because someone said jazzed, because they said Dover-Foxcroft is very unique and there's so much potential here. That was also a sentiment that was expressed during the 2-day workshop. A lot of people felt, and these were words, once again, you'll see it when the report comes out. They're hopeful, there's potential, all sorts of very, I think even someone used jazzed again, actually, if I'm remembering correctly, on the little board that they're writing it all on. So, yeah, and then also thank you to all of the participating federal, state, and local nonprofits that attended as well. I will share this little tidbit that you will see. I thought this was really cool. We sent out a youth survey to a wide array of, high schoolers to middle school, to elementary school. And one of the very first questions is, what do you love most about your community? And the overwhelming response that the kids gave was the people. So good job, Dover-Foxcroft. Keep doing what we're doing, because they can be our toughest critics if we know kids, right? And then little update on, so a few of us from the office here went to the Maine Municipal Association's HR conference down in Waterville. It was held at Thomas College last week. The keynote speaker, John M. O'Brien, PhD, he's author of Rudeness Rehab, delivered a really engaging presentation on reclaiming, it's titled Reclaiming Civility in the Workplace and Your Home Space. His message was focused on importance of professionalism, respect, constructive communication in both our professional and personal lives. And it was also a great opportunity for us to connect with other community leaders and other people that are kind of in the positions of administrative. And a recurring theme, and I highlighted this, was the growing challenge for municipalities is recruiting and retaining qualified employees. Many communities are finding fewer individuals are being interested in working in municipal government. And so that is kind of, local government isn't, sometimes always the greatest for everybody. So it's citing good, bad, and ugly of working in the public sector. So these conversations reinforce the importance of fostering respectful workplaces and then also community relationships as we continue to attract and retain talent public services throughout the state and the country. And that is all I have at the moment. That's also very helpful.
Before we move on to open session, one more, there will be a number of these little asides as we go on for the new board members. We have 2 folders that we pass around during the meeting, and these are the papers that we've voted on already, and we have to sign these before we adjourn. So we like to just pass them along. Sometimes the folder will get ahead of what we're voting on. What we do is we sign it anyway, and if for any reason the vote fails, then we'll just pull the paper and tear it up. But that way we're not waiting on the cramp signatures in right for the. Okay, and some of the forms have a specific place for your name and other ones, they're all just different forms. And sometimes it's just a blank line. And sometimes the state gives us a form with only like 4 spaces and we have to like cram our names on the side. So,
And sometimes you forget, but the other member will tell you.
yeah, that's right. Sometimes you miss one, a tab, and then we'll come back around. All good. All right. So, no public hearings tonight? Open session for the public then. Anybody have anything they wish to share and ask?
I do.
Please, announce yourself.
Yes, hi, I'm Tammy Drafta. And, I have a couple of follow-up items from the last meeting. I'm new to attending all of this, so things were talked about and public session was over and I didn't think that I had the right to speak at that time to say it, so that's why I'm here tonight. My questions involve the property at 291 Shore Road South, and I don't know, there's some new members here, so you might not know what I'm talking about. As you all know, the big shoreline zoning violation at this time is the camper not being hooked up to proper wastewater disposal system, per the shoreline zoning ordinance. My question today is, time that was given for a deadline was sometime in the fall. And to me, that's very open-ended. Do we mean September 22nd, meaning the first day of fall? Or can we get a more specific defined date for the residents to have to follow? Because I feel it's very open-ended and can lead to really some difficulties for code enforcement to enforce this deadline when it's not set more clearly. So that's my first follow-up.
Okay, why don't we,
I don't know how this works, so
Yeah,
please
it's
just guide.
however
because-
it works. Nan, do you have a specific date? I do recall that we
Yeah.
said the fall. Do we have a specific date? that you
We
expect?
got some more information and, courtesy of Mike Ogden, plumber. The residents have purchased a macerating pump and, piping. And it's supposed to be here, it's supposed to arrive today, and they're gonna be hooking the camper up to the septic system with that. I don't have a specific date and, Mr. Levesque messaged me that he's not feeling well, so he's not here to tell me exactly when he'll have that ready. But I'm going to be reaching out to him to find out when he thinks he will have that. The camper will be hooked up to the septic system. And they're still working on the indoor bathroom. They have all the plumbing permits and everything in line for that. So they're working on 2 different aspects right now.
Okay.
And yeah,
So it does sound like things are in progress. But the concern raised that if we
yeah, I'm
beyond
looking
that.
to have this done within the next, by July 1st is what I'm hoping.
Okay.
I have not spoken to the homeowners directly on the date.
So why don't we do this then, if if you're comfortable with it, if this isn't resolved by July, by the end of July, everything's in place, then, we can put a hard date on it. But obviously, we all want it done.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and that's great news to hear. Does that mean that the camper can remain in the same place
Yes.
with this new pump?
Yes.
They don't have to move it?
Right.
Okay.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
The macerating pump.
That's what I was asking.
No, I just told them that.
That's
things
perfect.
are-
That is perfect.
Yep.
They were asking if you have any, it was supposed to arrive today. I don't know that it did because it depends on how
Yep, shipping.
companies get things here.
It did arrive. We still need to do a riser for the septic tank so that we don't have any odor. The hosing came, it needs to be hooked up.
What's your name?
Renee
Yeah, yeah.
Kramer,
Yep.
Come on.
Thank you.
reside on the property, sorry.
Sorry.
I was a
Okay.
bit late. I was late coming home from work. So the macerator pump did arrive. We have to do some little electrical things because it's only 12 volt because it's supposed to be used for boondocking docking and stuff. But once it's hardwired and we get everything done, we also have to put the pump in the tank, that fast inspection, and the alarm in there so that we don't have any oopsies. So we want to make sure it's done right so we don't have to circle back and deal with any of this peripheral
Okay.
stuff.
That Yep, that's all fine. You came in just as we were saying, we think
Yeah, I was
everything
just gonna weigh in.
is on, yep,
Okay.
everything seems to be on the right track. Okay, so,
That's perfect, that's great,
Yep.
and you're the one, Nan, that follows through and inspects
Yeah,
and does all
I don't
that.
inspect that. That will be.
let's, yeah,
Okay,
make sure that that
perfect, yeah.
happens. All right.
Great, thank you so much, I
Yep.
appreciate that.
Did you have any?
No, because my next question was if the deadline doesn't get met, what's gonna happen?
Okay.
So
It
that's perfect.
seems
Thank
like
you.
we're all good then. Thank you. Okay, anything else from anybody else?
Yep. Dave Maycumber, I live at 280 Shore Road South. And we started a road commission and redid the road and put money into it. And Larry, Renee has 2 driveways, 2 culverts. And some reason this past week, they decided to take it upon themselves and fill the culverts with gravel to stop the water from flowing its where it was gonna go.
We haven't filled anything, sir. We haven't filled anything on that road.
Huh, they just filled themselves.
Well, with the amount of rain that we've gotten and the fact that you took the ditches, then yeah, I would assume it's not going to work properly.
That's all I-
But we haven't
Just ongoing.
filled
shit show.
anything.
Okay, all right. Does anybody else have anything else for open session? All right, moving on. I'll close open session. We'll go to open session for the board. So this is the time when any of us chime in on things.
Going off of what Alcina had said about the election officials, they had a really long night. And I'm really proud of the way they worked together, got through it. It's a lot of work. My wife didn't get home until real late, so I know exactly how long it took.
Billy was later than I was.
Yeah, I got an email.
So, and I know other people were later as well, so it was a good voter turnout, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But with that kind of turnout, it takes time to get through everything and they worked really hard, so I'm really proud of them. Thank you very much for all the hard work.
I was in a couple times, 2 times, I think, for that day, and my wife was in, said everything went very, very, very smoothly, and there was a lot of people.
One more thing, the open house for the fire department, that seemed to go over really well. I spent some time with Mark Robinson, one of the firefighters, who took me around and showed me all of his equipment they're using. Very knowledgeable, did a great job showing me what they had and how they use it. Very proud of them. They did a great job.
Great. The question we wind up asking at this time of year is, when are our lines gonna get painted on the road? Yes, I did have to ask because someone went to cross and we stopped for them and my wife's like, why aren't they in the crosswalk? I'm like, there is, you can see the little paint. It was one of the weird ones over by the fire department, but yeah.
So the short end of it, is we unfortunately are on the lower end of the totem pole on, because there's very few companies that do line painting, or at least in this general area. They do a lot of larger contract. I'll put this out there. I have floated the idea of purchasing our own little line painting machine so that Public Works can go ahead and do it right as soon as the sidewalks or the sand and all that's clean from the winter. So that is something that we are exploring.
Yeah, at least the crosswalks
Yeah,
and
sure.
the stop line. There's no stop line on Route 7 North. I saw someone in the intersection today and said, oh, obviously not somebody from around here that
Yeah,
knows where the imaginary line is.
yeah.
All right, I had to
I don't-
ask.
Yeah, no, I don't have a defined date because I have asked and it's kind of up in the air as far as, well, because, and then the other thing too is what's delaying everything is you can't paint when it's raining.
Yeah.
Or when the ground surface is wet. So we haven't really had a dry stretch yet. We did, but things have changed unfortunately.
Okay, that's all for me.
Kudos to the recycling center. I went out there on Friday on the unpaved road. but
Thank you.
just checking two things. But she was very helpful and my dogs appreciated the little bonus. And then I would second what Elsie said about the, work meeting. I was there part of Wednesday night and all day, Thursday. And, actually, because there was a wealth of information there, a lot of the time that was spent usually with break, I'm running around trying to talk with the guy in the green because he was part of the Northern Border Commission, or this one was over here. So I would even echo saying, why can't we have a town-wide session like that so that we could have officials, AKA the state inspector or, the fire marshal, come and actually be a part of a healthy discussion about issues that we're facing, that sort of thing. Because that was probably not an agenda item, but it was very helpful to have that access. And I would echo the open house. I was there for about an hour and a half, and the little kids on the trucks and people were asking, and they had labeled the source of the funding of the apparatuses. Lots of good pictures were taken. They have a history of the awards and grants they've gotten for different apparatuses and or trainings. I said, bring the posters to a select board meeting so that folks can see actually what is happening there. So, and the hot dogs were good too. So,
I had about 75 people attend. I had connected earlier today, so it's good turnout for.
Oh, and thank you for mentioning the hot dogs, which remind me of Whoopie Pies, which we haven't met since the Whoopie Pie Festival came.
Still recovering.
Yeah. As people might have seen, the attendance was a record breaker this year. 9,000 was their estimated attendance. And by all counts, it went very smoothly. We were all, of course, a little nervous because of Essex Street Bridge being closed. We weren't sure what that was going to do, but from everything that I've heard, it went very, very smoothly. And I credit a lot of preparedness ahead of time. This isn't an accident that things happen as well. This was involved a lot of careful coordination between our town services, especially fire and EMS and police protection, and with Center Theater and the Chamber. And we joke we don't want to be in Bangor Daily because it's usually a lot of bad stuff in there, but we made the front page for the Whoopie Pie Festival, so we'll take that one.
and actually Patrick sent an email that very next day wanting to meet with protection to go over. And again, it was almost flawless, but there are a couple of tweaks he wants to make for next year. So we'll be meeting in August to plan that.
Okay, well, if there's nothing else from the board, close open session of the board. We do have an adjustment to the agenda. So you have a handout, Nature Conservancy one, and we will put that. Let's see, what's our last one?
G.
G. Okay. All right, committee reports. We have an admin committee. Jane, do you want to just touch on that because Cindy isn't here?
Sure. We met a couple of the agenda items have already been covered that we discussed. We also discussed the orientation manual and also a procedure for buying back when there is a foreclosure. Kind of a review, and that was about it.
Yep. About it. So ordinance review committee.
Yes, we met on whatever day, Wednesday.
Yep.
Seems like way back.
Oh, yeah.
And we have our draft document of the short-term rental is in the hands of Jonathan to be reviewed. Or it should be, or it's in the mail, checks in the mail type thing. Right, Dan?
Yeah.
Okay. It's on your pile.
Jane, you want to go 3 for 3
Oh,
here?
geez, okay. Protection, what did we do? Protection, we, are looking at the parking ordinance. We discussed heavily the speed bumps, and we want to have a neighborhood adopt a speed bump. If you want to hear, no, just teasing. There was-
I was gonna buy
They work. And also the open house we've talked about, we kind of, appreciated the staff's effort in putting that together because again, it was on a Saturday and that sort of thing. And then last minute touches on the festival preparation. We also checked in with the animal control officer to see how things were going. Again, she does many towns. And so we wanted a perspective of how things are going in Dover-Foxcroft. And then had some tweaking of language of the short-term rental that we discussed and passed on to Jonathan.
Excellent.
That's what we did.
All right, well, that is a lot considering we've got the summer right here. All right, so we're now on to new business. First up is liquor license renewal for the Mill Inn and Cafe.
Move to approve.
Second?
We haven't heard anything from Chief Burns that.
We have no issue.
Oh, excellent. I didn't know you were authorized to speak on his behalf.
He told me to let you know.
All right. Excellent, that works.
Thank
well.
you.
All right, yes, Jeff?
And for the record, and again, I want this request that this be put in the minutes. I still do not understand what question 8 is asking. So I think we put in a request for the fire marshal to come and visit protection, and I didn't specify a calendar year, but it would be nice if it came this year.
At least get some answer to that. Just so everybody knows, it's a new form, the form that they were using for the last 20 something years. They finally decided to retire it. We're getting used to the new one. It's got bigger print. I don't think.
Yeah,
do they-
it's massive.
Do they know we're older? Is that?
Well, we gotta look at the.
Okay. All right, so we have a first and a second. All in favor? B, Lincoln Street Bridge replacement bids. Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Alcina, you want to lead us in on this one?
Yes, so as we all know, Lincoln Street Bridge is due for replacement. We've scored poorly the last 2 inspections. So here we are. We do have $1.4 million in CDS funding. And so, just recently approved, a bonded amount of up to my blank, 2.5 million, up to a 5.5%. But it doesn't look like we'll have to borrow that much because the bids came back under, which is great. And there were two bidders, Gordon Contracting and then New England Infrastructure. Gordon Contracting came in with just over 2.4 million, and New England Infrastructure Inc. out of Mass came in at just over 3.8 million. And then the suggestion is to go with Gordon Contracting.
Do you feel that the rather large difference is because of Gordon being local and this other company being Massachusetts?
Yes. And then also, yes, that's pretty much the bottom line of that one. I didn't have any other feedback as far as why there would be such a difference. I know there are some more stringent items that were put into this bid process, just because we are gonna be working up against the foundation of Bob's Hardware. So there was a, upped amount of insurance that had to be taken out, as well as, we had added in a walking plank across the construction area so that you could still access Bob's. They could still get deliveries because there's no way a semi is going to be backing up the length of Lincoln Street to Essex Street, which then you have to go, there's no turns, good stuff. So there were little additional things that were added, addendum to the initial bid packet. So, but yeah, happy to see those figures come in, or at least that figure come in.
To approve Gordon Contracting.
Second, any further discussion?
Did this go to Public Works?
No, it did not. We just had the bid opening and It's the other, oh, it was the day of work.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say from my perspective on Public Works is unless there was something, there was an issue, because we all knew this was coming, that, yeah, and only 2 bids, the other thing. And quite the gap between them. Okay, all in favor? Excellent. Well, Gordon's got the contract and we're gonna get a new bridge. And that, can you just remind everybody what the potential time frame for that is? Current thinking?
So it's estimated 2 to 3 months. I'm hoping they will knock it out earlier. They've been really good about being ahead of schedule on their work, such as like Autumn Avenue. I think they shaved off about almost a month of construction time. So yeah, I'm not gonna hold anything to them as far as time frame.
Right.
But that is, engineers estimate anywhere from 2 to 3 months between mobilization and construction.
Just to reassure everybody, this is not a multi-year process like some other bridges that we have.
But it still will be a little bit of you'll still have parking to get to Bob's, and you'll have that diagonal parking until things get repaved. But yeah, I'll be crossing it, that's for sure.
Well, and again, I think Gordon has a good track record. I know if
Yes.
you've ever gone to Greenville, things move smooth, they post, it'll be 10 minutes and it's probably 7 minutes of when you stop. They're doing the local West Main
The water.
and they're ahead of schedule. Get on their Facebook page so that you can follow and understand why the light is doing what the light does and that sort of thing. So, look forward to working.
I was just impressed that they didn't get lost when they were doing the big roundabout down in Newport. Because that looked
Right.
very confusing to me as a driver, but
Still looks confusing.
Is that what he's implementing here or suggesting when he says 6-month duration on his letter to us?
Just so I can.
yep, that's what he's saying.
I do appreciate his last line, though. This will not drag out years under my oversight.
Yeah,
Trust me, it won't be.
no,
Yeah.
it's not. And plus they have a work window, also in water
Yeah.
work window, which they have to have wrapped up by September. Trying to see where that's, I don't know, so. Right there.
Oh,
Just don't know what it was.
And then was there a very hard date that we have to break ground for that federal money? And is he okay with that date?
So there's a hard date where we have to complete for the federal money,
Oh, okay.
and that's next September. But you only have a certain amount of time because it's in water work that you can do the work, and that's between June and September, so.
Yeah, the river looks a little lowering now.
Well, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so. Orders of municipal officers. This is one of our annual. Right, yeah. So we have a whole array of things that we need to approve each year at the beginning of because we're just starting our fiscal year. So why don't we just move quickly through these?
I will move to approve the orders of municipal officers as written.
I'll second that.
Favor? Okay. Interest rate on past due taxes and sewer charges, 26 to 27.
Move to approve as written.
Second.
Second, thank you. All in favor? All right, interest rate on abated taxes. 26 to 27.
Move to approve the interest rate set on abated taxes for 2026-27 at 3.5%. Yeah.
Second.
All right. In favor? Okay. Prepayment of taxes for 2026-2027.
Well,
You want
I'll
to
move
do
to,
that?
I'll move to approve as written.
Okay, second. All right, what's your question there?
Have we ever done this before?
Do it every June. It's just like housekeeping.
So to accept prepayment of taxes, so someone could come in on July 2nd and pay their year's taxes. Just checking. Just checking.
Yeah.
They want to credit, like keep putting in credit on their account.
Oh, okay.
Just to have a rolling credit.
All right,
Just checking.
all in favor? Good, all right. We have sewer assessment. Due dates for 2026 and 2027. We'll establish this.
Move to approve as written.
Second.
All in favor? Okay. All right, sewer rate schedule for 2026, 2027.
Move to set the sewer rate schedule for FY 26-27 as follows. The base is, what are they? 106.58 per 0 cubic feet to 1,200 cubic feet, and 11.14 for those in excess of 1,200 cubic feet.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Town of Dover-Foxcroft flood plan ordinance approval.
Move to approve the new town of Dover-Foxcroft floodplain ordinance.
Second.
Okay, and this is to basically formally adopt what was approved on, at meeting. So, all in favor? No? Similar with this one, town of Dover-Foxcroft shoreland zoning ordinance approval.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Last but not least on that run, the town of Dover-Foxcroft land use ordinance amendment approval.
Move to approve. Second.
All in favor? Well, now, all that bookkeeping stuff is done. We can go on to the Nature Conservancy. Alcina, do you want to walk us through?
Yep.
This?
Sure. So the Nature Conservancy is providing us a $25,000 private grant. This is in partnership, because we're in partnership with CNC for the FERC surrender as well as dam removal. This grant is to help fund for a draft RFP to develop any kind of riverside amenities, as far as like, riverfront, landscape design, whatever it might be. And then also a continuation of community planning workshops, kind of similar to what we had during the workshop, sorry. There was a lot of conversation around what are we gonna do with the town on land once, riverfront and all that, and then also looping in Monument Square, which has been on the conversation for a very long time now, apparently. So, in talking with the Nature Conservancy, they are willing, well, part of their commitment is doing $25,000 to kind of put us and get us set up with a landscape architect to work with the town people on our town land, just to see what we want to do with it. That's basically it.
You're okay, feel that we can make the July 7th according due date?
Yes, yeah.
So do you need a motion?
Motion to accept it.
Move to sign this agreement between the Nature Conservancy and the town of Dover-Foxcroft as presented.
Second, okay. Any further discussion about what this is and how it fits into the whole arrangement with Nature Conservancy and removal of the dam? Okay, all right, all in favor? Very much. That concludes the business. We're now on to open session closing remarks. So we'll start with public, if there's any closing remarks based on what has gone on in the meeting so far. Oh. You, sir, who are you?
Emery Cobbs, West Main Street. Two questions and you don't have to answer them, but, or land, town acquired land where we've taken the houses off and we now own the land and we're selling them. Who's looking after the mowing of those properties, or does anybody, or should anybody? Because the grass is 2 feet tall in those spots. I'm just wondering if that's a responsibility of the town or not.
Yes.
And so is it my thinking that the Lincoln Street Bridge will start somewhere and finish June 2027? Because it's not gonna happen right now, is it?
It is.
So it'll be done by September this year. He's gonna start now. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it might have been next year. That,
It's all happening at once.
thank you.
Band-Aid rip.
Yeah.
That's the, yeah. Do you have something?
So,
Can I just ask you, what location for the mowing?
Well, Dwell is the one that I walked past. It's one of the two that we've just done. Grove Street, I've not noticed.
Oh, Dwelly's private. We
Okay, I
we
thought
don't
that
know.
was, okay,
No,
so
that's not
that
town.
answers that. I
Yeah.
thought that was us.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve Robinson. I'm gonna read this, so I don't mess it up, but I have a statement and I have kind of request of the board. First of all, congratulations to the new board members. I think it's great you've joined this leadership team. Because I really look at you guys as, or you folks, as having the power to drive this town forward. And I think we really need that to happen. My request is, I'd like to see you come up with 3 to 5 goals for the year that we're gonna accomplish. As a taxpayer that's on a fixed income, I hate to see the taxes keep going up and up and up. And so I'd like to have you look at 3 things, set goals that you're gonna accomplish with 3 things in mind. Stop taking on debt. Look at must-haves and to eliminate the nice-to-haves. And target expenses. And if you don't spend the money, you don't need to collect it from the taxpayers. So look at all your expenses, work on that hard. Achieving these types of goals, expectations require tough love, and it's gonna make some people very unhappy. But the town manager is gonna be required to do this, and I hope you folks support her. Because especially when you get unhappy customers, they don't know, they want to keep the status quo. And this is gonna take some push for this town to make these changes. But I really think, coming from my history, you need to have goals, you have a vision, you have the goals, and say, at the end of the year, did we do what we tried to do? And I don't know what those are. But I hope that you set those with the taxpayer in mind, that you kind of minimize, and the best to do that is focus on expenses. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anything from the board? All right then. Preferred.
Move to go into executive session as per MRSA 405 subsection 6E to discuss rights and duties of municipal officers with the town attorney.
Easy to say. Yeah. All right, all in favor?
Don't feel like.
Thank you all for attending.
Can I vote?
Yeah, you get the lead.
Yeah, rub it in.
He moves much faster.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Nice to meet you.